Eddie Hearn. What's up, guys? I got Eddie Earn with Hearn. It's that name that will always stay, but literally everyone's earning with Hearn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
You know, I love Saudi and I love Turkey Al-Sheikh. Thank you very much for putting on the big fights, but bring some more fights this way.
Yeah.
I can't travel to Saudi.
No?
You can pay for my nanny for and my room, board, all of that.
Try it one day. It's an amazing place and it's been great. But like you said, we've got to keep big fights happening in the US. And to be fair, His Excellency's doing that. You've got the Ryan Garcia and Haney stuff coming up. Boots Stanionis was big for us today. I think that's a real statement. I think that's a great fight for American boxing. And even, Pacheco Nelson's, this is going to be a great card on Saturday. And also, not even our stuff. Morel against Benavidez is a great fight next weekend. You've got Tank coming up. I just think boxing's flying at the moment. It really is. Like, when you talk about all the big stuff coming up, I think it's the best time we've ever seen for the sport.
I think with Turkey coming into the picture, yes, the money and all that, but it's kind of put a lot of pressure on a lot of other promoters. It's like, okay, they're putting on the fights that the fans want, and they're 50-50 fights. So now we have to make sure that we have the fights here in the States or somewhere that's a little closer than flying all the way over there.
Yeah. And obviously, look, the money makes a lot of things happen, and I think Feb 22nd, that's the greatest fight card I've ever seen, really. And, at the end of the day, if we did that show, we could be out of business, So it's it's just a freak moment for the sport, and we got to enjoy it while it's here. Who knows how long it's going to last? Hopefully for a long, long time. But His Excellency has a great passion for the sport. I think some people, without knowing him, they don't really understand his drive for the sport, and that's why he bought Ring Magazine. I think, and that's actually a good example of his passion for the sport. That's a magazine where I don't know what his future was, but he's completely just revamped it within the space of a month, and the energy and the substance that he's putting behind it, it's not for money. It's a personal passion of his. So it's great that you've got that money coming in, but someone who actually does care for the future of the sport. So, but we got to keep these cards coming, and I enjoyed that press conference. It's going to be a good night. Yeah.
Speaking of this press conference, I heard Bomac was speaking and telling Diego, "Oh, you're just an honor roll kid." Really good, But I asked Diego, "Was this a name that you wanted?" He said yes, but because all the other fighters said no. What did you think when he said Pacheco? Nelson.
I thought about this fight for a while. The problem is that it's a very tough fight, and the risk outweighs the reward. But when you're building a fighter and you need to give him tests and you need to find out how good he is, I don't mind this fight. A lot of people have said to me even today, "Hey, why'd you pick Nelson? He's good." It's like, yeah, I know. That's the whole fucking point, isn't it? I mean, I hate this thing with the fans. It's like, you get beat. If Pacheco gets beat on Saturday,
it's to a good fighter.
Yeah, but also he's not good enough, Pacheco.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's this whole you got a fighter beat. No, they weren't good enough. It's like we're starting to do this thing on the broadcast now with Rubalcaba or our younger prospects that aren't necessarily blessed with a real long-term contract. Fighters that come in who show a lot of potential. So he's fighting this Israel Mercado, and it's he's 10-1. He's an animal, and he might win, but he might shine. And if he shines, he moves on, and then he probably gets a 2 or 3 year deal. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And if he gets beat, he just goes back to smaller shows. He's not good enough. It's that's a strange mentality. No, it's a winning mentality. Yeah. If you're good enough, you win. If you're not, you don't. It's just really simple. And one hand fight fans are like, "Oh, we don't like one-sided fights." Then someone gets beat, and it's like, "Why'd you get him beat?" It's like, you're weird,
Turkey Al-Sheikh even tweeted, we need to have fights that lose, that are good. It can't be lopsided. So shout out to him. But yeah, this fight, this whole press conference is a little spicy. It went from Tito Mercado talking his shit, and then Terrence Crawford and all of them talking their shit. And I saw you're just smiling over there.
I love it. I love it because who wants to do a press conferences sometimes become quite stale.
Yeah, they're boring.
But you do need, there's only so much I can do. You need something from the fighters. Even Diego there, it was very out of character of Diego. I love it. It's got what we want to see. But you want people shouting stuff out. It's a show, It's like Jerry Springer in the ring, We want people shouting shit out and going back and forwards. And, I think like Tito Mercado was just on smoke, calling out Shakur, Keyshawn. I'm thinking, where's this come from?
Them,
Yeah, I know.
Oh my goodness.
But he's got a tough fight himself. Like, he's not proven yet at that level. So again, let's find out.
We'll find out. Now, you congratulations, you did mention Boots. Boots is a big one. I remember interviewing Stanionis, and he's like, I just want the belt. I want the title fights. And now it's happening, 147. It was a glamour division, then it kind of wasn't because they moved up. And now you see Haney, Ryan, all of them are starting to move up. Boots, okay, his last performance, he won, but it was a little off, I think, was it because he already won and it was in his hometown? What happened? What did you? What happened?
I think that there's a few things. I think it was, some nights you're just not at your best. I thought Judasian actually boxed really well in that fight, like a lot better. I think he'd already beaten him, 120, 108. Like, he wasn't motivated. But it probably helped us get the Stanionis fight, because I think if he would look sensational, they might have gone no. And respect to Stanionis, because he's the guy in the division, in my opinion, ability wise. Him and Boots, like, Barrios is good. Brian. On
147.
Brian Norman, sorry, yeah, he's good. But Stanionis is the best champion outside of Boots. This is a real fight. And when you talk about the glamour division of 147, it will always be a glamour division. I mean, this time it's a unification, but the Ring magazine is also on the line. Belt. And that belt has been won in the last sort of 10, 15 years. Only two people have held it. One is Terence and one is Floyd Mayweather. And before that, it was like Wilfred Benitez, Sugar Ray Leonard, I think Hagler, Sugar Ray Robinson. And Boots is about legacy. He's about history. That's why he turned down these other fights, because he was desperate to unify, and it heaped a lot of pressure on us, because he was turning all these fights down,
like
saying, Eddie, you told me you're going to... Yeah, but I'm pleased for him, because he took a lot of unnecessary stick, because we had a plan and he didn't want to deviate. But the problem is, if we didn't deliver, we've missed all those chances. So it was really important for me personally to get it over the line. So, and I think important, like you said, for American boxing. And I love the Boardwalk Hall. I think it's a great choice. We've done Philly twice in 6 months. It's only down the road, but I think it will do really well.
Okay, now we're going to go across the pond real fast. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. I know he retired, but he's retired many, many times.
Yeah.
So if Anthony Joshua does not get that fight, which should have happened a long time ago, by the way, who does Anthony Joshua want?
I mean, he wants the winner of Dubois against Parker. That's the main focus. And that happens February 22nd. I think it's a 50-50 fight, to be honest. That's the main aim. If not, and if Fury doesn't come out of retirement, His Excellency's mentioned Deontay Wilder. It's not really a fight pre-Dubois that we were looking at, but we are coming off a defeat as well. So, and I think there's a lot of jeopardy in that fight. Like, I think a lot of people would tune in for that fight.
They're going to check someone's chin. Who has it?
Of course.
Deontay still have it?
This is really probably AJ's last year in the sport, so we've got to get it right. We're in no tearing rush. We're going to fight in the summer.
Okay.
Who that'll be, we'll see in due course.
All right. Okay, I have to ask this. If we get this Canelo Crawford, you kind of probably know, you kind of know the dealings, even though Crawford's like, you don't know nothing. Yeah. Who do you have in that fight? I know you've had Canelo as your stable.
It's very difficult to bet against Terence Crawford, but I just feel like the weight's too much. Like, I feel like he struggled physically a little bit against Matchroom. I think his style and his IQ and his movement will cause a lot of problems to Canelo, but I just... Canelo, with no hydration clause, Canelo's going to get in the ring at 180 pounds. And I don't think Crawford will be...
More than 170?
No. I can't see how he can weigh 168. It's a bit like Ben Eubank. You don't want to just try and make yourself 168.
Yeah.
You've got to come in keeping your attributes that will make, which is speed.
Power and speed.
Yeah, so Terence really should be weighing 160, 161, 162. And the same with Conor Benn. Don't come in at 160. Come in at 156, 157. You don't eat yourself up like trying to be... You've got to be explosive and you've got to have great movement. And I think on an even playing field, I think that the movement of Crawford would be a big problem at this stage in Canelo's career. Okay. But I think the weight is going to get him.
Sorry, Eddie. I know everyone's waiting for you, but we can sit and chat. We haven't chatted in a long time. I know. Hopefully, I get to see you tomorrow. I don't know if you'll be available tomorrow because I have more questions about Benavidez and all the other stuff. All right, guys, tune in. Make sure you guys tune in this Saturday. Cosmo, Diego Pacheco is taking on Steven So Cold Nelson here in Las Vegas at Cosmo. Come to Viva Las Vegas and hang out with us. All right, guys. I'm Cynthia Conte. See you guys at the fights. Bye, guys.